Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a lot more drama coming out over here when it comes to the increased price points over here for all these not brand new games. Now, it's kind of been an interesting topic because it kind of came out to light. We even made a video on it about yesterday, where a lot of these bigger games, such as the Xbox, PlayStation, etc., are pretty much just hard locked into their $70 price point. But now with that actually having some chance to kind of sit and settle, and it does kind of seem like a lot of folks are very, very upset, let alone at Xbox themselves for even having a chance to charge these upper price points. And as well, a lot of folks kind of making fun of Xbox games and kind of basically saying like, hey, all these games they're trying to go and sell are garbage. But it also kind of still once again opens up this interesting conversation when it comes to Nintendo, when it comes to Game Pass, and everything all in between. But obviously a lot of folks are not happy with this. A lot of folks are not vibing this, and myself included. I don't really think the $70 standard is, well, really that good. But at the same time, there has been a big increase in price in terms of salaries, in terms of developer costs, assets, marketing, and everything in between. And it does usually take longer to make a proper good game nowadays than it did back in the day. So especially as we're kind of talking about this, let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and as well make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys would like to go and follow up on that one for bonus giveaway entries. We also have the Amazon links and Target links as well, and the same with Webull links too, all down below. So this has been kind of coming up here a lot. Like, we've been discussing this deal, and this has kind of been the big news of the week, where the PS5 games are just going to be staying at $70. It's kind of been a given. And then Xbox games are going to be bumping up their price to $70. I don't want to say that was a full-on given, but it was kind of alluded toward and speculated on. And like we said, a lot of folks are just pretty unhappy with that one too as well. So some folks are hoping that Sony was able to go and pressure, like no one wanted to buy the games. Maybe they wouldn't sell out. Maybe Xbox would bring that good competition and bring it back down. But sadly, instead, Xbox just want to join forces with Sony and raise up the prices. Now, the last one we still have not gone through is both PC, which I'll be very curious to see if PC markets, say Steam, etc., will bump up to $70, because Steam kind of seems like the last big foothold. As well, same with Nintendo. Mainly, I'm a little bit more curious on Nintendo because there's like a big point that's been floating around, is that in theory, like, this more of like the kid console, the family console, and they do kind of get a lot of sales. Like, they're still the #1 console seller, even though their stuff is like 7, 8 years old. So it almost would be more incentivized for them to have parents then go and walk into a store and go and see this, because we actually apparently have already seen these price points already being affected. I'll show you guys in a second. But it's kind of like you walk into a store, walk into a Walmart, walk into a Target, and you kind of go and see like hey, I can either go get this Switch version of the same game for $60, or I can go and buy the random PlayStation 5 version for $70. Now, typically for us, or say Xbox, typically for us, like as normal gamers, we know we'll probably rather get it on PS5 or Xbox, better frame rate, better hardware. I prefer that console myself, but sometimes we have maybe parents who are just not as much into gaming, just want to make sure their kids are happy. They might just go where with that. So basically for that one, the big thing we kind of saw for this one too is we've gone through a lot of these, but we've even actually seen some tweets now where there are certain games not already moved, like the price point's already nude. So you guys can see over here that there's a Series X version at their local Walmart for $70, and then there's a $60 Xbox One version in the Walmart's game case too as well. So it does actually seem to go and show that you guys can even see these price points here. Xbox Series X at $70, and then you have the Xbox One, prior gen, think PS4, at $60. Now, is it crazy to say this because we're already seeing these games out and live in the wild? Now, we didn't really necessarily know so much, mainly because we just kind of heard about the announcement, it kind of came out, but I guess it kind of goes to show that Callisto Protocol is trying to go be one of the first big major games hitting that $70 Xbox price point. And that's a little rougher too because it's not also on Game Pass. So instead of it being like $60 on Xbox, 70 on PS5, and then, whatever, or 70 and then also on Game Pass, it kind of seems to seem that we're kind of hardcore stuck on this either way. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing to go and see. But it does seem like it's already happening. It does seem like the Xbox is already pushing these higher price points. Now, is it really wrong for them to do so? I kind of want to hear your thoughts. It makes sense. If PlayStation can get away with it, why can't Xbox? But at the same time, I'm going to be curious on how Nintendo does it, because Nintendo actually does have a huge graphical change, and their hardware just isn't as good. So the game will probably be playing the same on, say, PS5 or Xbox. But on the Switch, it's probably not going to be doing so well. And in theory, if you want to maybe have to pay a $70, say for the brand new Breath of the Wild, or any brand new Nintendo games in the future, I don't know. I've played some Mario Tennis, I've played some Mario Golf, and they're not bad games. Mario Strikers, like they're not bad games, don't get me wrong, but the content isn't really there, the graphics aren't really there, the frame rates aren't really there, and I just don't think I'd ever want to pay $70 for it. But like I said, a lot of folks are getting upset with this, because I mean, just no one wants to pay this extra bit of money to as well. We all have also already seen EA, Ubisoft, 2K Games, etc., all adopting this too and pushing the $70 price point. But man, like Game Pass is a nice workaround, like a nice alternative, don't get me wrong. Like I don't really want to spend $70 on Redfall or $70 on Starfield or Forza Motorsport. But now we also have to factor in those other games, like I said, like Callisto Protocol, that's already happening. So basically, representatives from Microsoft point to the content, scale, and technological complexity of its titles as the big reason for why there's an increase in the first place. And then during the PS3 and PS4 era, most new games retailed for $60, so this represents a $10 increase overall. Of course, while we're hesitant to defend juggernaut publishers who are registered record profits, there's simply no denying that games cost more money than they did. And I agree on that. Like, I think devs should be paid a fair wage. I think developers should, not have to work on these time crunches. But at the same time, like, I'm just trying to eat my cake and have it too, or the saying goes, because I just wish these games could be $60. So basically, they're apparently also already doing this. Like, apparently it's already happening. Like, I showed you guys all this picture over here. Apparently its price points are already here. These places have already bumped it up. And I wasn't expecting this, because we were seeing the comments when it comes to other various games, like I said, Redfall, Starfield, etc. So it's crazy that this is actually already happening as of now. So it is important, though, to point out that these changes could potentially have occurred earlier as well. As of right now, apparently it's already doing that for these third-party spots. And once again, they're also kind of highlighting that Nintendo is still kind of the last neutral party. And I'm kind of curious on what you guys think on that too. I mean, because for me, it's just weird. It's kind of sad. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything with it at the end of the day. I don't know. It's weird. But like I said, a lot of folks are pretty upset with this. Like, we're seeing this type of stuff where it's like $70 Sony games, where it's like a good looking dude, then you have the $70 Xbox games over here. Or you have the comparison for like a lot of the Starfields, where it's not like, we haven't seen the game come out fully yet. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like as time goes on. And then they have the big comparisons to something like a Horizon or God of War Ragnarok that was a really, really good looking game. And that is the big thing with Sony, is that their engines and their games and their graphics and their SSDs are very polished. Like, I will go and say, I don't want to pay $70, but if I had to pay $70 for God of War, which I did just go and beat, it was a phenomenal game, it wasn't the world's worst deal. It was around $2 per hour, plus with bonus stuff I could still go and do, and the game had no glitches, bugs, crashes. It was just a good game. Now, versus a Halo Infinite, where I thought that single player was a very bad experience, and I think a lot of other folks also agreed. But we're also seeing, like, folks everywhere. Like, there's so many different comments and so many different people bringing stuff on up, and I'm in the same boat. I like the idea of pushing Game Pass. Like, you give me that $10 Game Pass, and you give me up this. Like, look at this. You have Starfield. I'm down. Perfect Dark. I'm down. Redfall. I'm down. Indiana Jones might be if you don't have to see. Hellblade. I'm down. The game was good. The first one was good. Forza, yes. And, like, you go and get your Game Pass. You go and sub for it for the month whenever it sounds and looks good. I'm A-okay with that. I'm cool with that. But I just really think the individual console owners are the ones that probably don't benefit the most. Say for, like, the game like Callisto Protocol we showed you guys. It's just not good. But as well, it's also kind of rough then for PC folks. Sony's probably not going to lower their price if Xbox can get away from it. And I'm even less inclined to want to spend $70 on a game that's maybe iffy. Or maybe less inclined to want to spend $70 on a game by an unestablished developer. Sometimes you want to take those risks and maybe those games are good, but maybe I don't want to be the one taking that risk for a $70 game. A good example for that is probably Returnal. Returnal was a good, well-made game, but it wasn't really from a proven IP or a proven game company. So sometimes we see these games and we're like, do we really want to spend that $70? And I think it might even be worse long-term as the recession / profit / whatever gets a little bit worse as time goes on. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments, because we've been seeing a lot more of an outrage. It's been trending up on Twitter. We've had people complaining all over the place. If you just scroll on through, there's so many people making all these comments all over here too as well. And like, just everyone's like, what is going on? They're blaming Sony, they're blaming Xbox, everyone's upset, and pretty much everyone just wants to have and save some money on their games, myself included. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Do you guys agree with the $70 price change? Do you guys think Nintendo's going to bump up too? Or as well, are you just kind of sad because we're already seeing these price points already happening out in the public? So as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for all the sign-up links for that. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below, or Weeble links, Target links too. And just make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on.